Yes, yes, finally, Sakura versus Hinata. It's out, it's ready to be watched, and I know you guys are waiting for a very long time to see this one, but guess what? So have I. Anyway, let's get right into it. Sakura versus Hinata. Sakura and Hinata were both voiced by Trina Duhart. I'll link her profile in the description. Shout out to her, she's really talented, I think you guys will love her work. The basis of this video is going to be quite simple. I'll do my analysis and my research over each character and what they're capable of. After that, we'll watch the fight. Then after that fight's done, we'll discuss who won, why they won, and why the other person lost. I hope you guys just put aside your biases for this one video, look at the evidence shown for both characters, look at my reasoning, and understand that both characters are very powerful in their own right. Yes, but the battle's not as one-sided as many people are led to believe. And with that, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. We're going to get right into the video. And I hope you guys enjoy yourselves, get some juice or something, and enjoy this video, okay? Because I worked a really long time in it. Hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's get right into it. Over the years, we have all had our own debates and thoughts about who would win in a battle, many of which were eventually solved. But there is one that still stands today and still divides many people. Sakura, the pink Kunoichi of Team 7, versus Hinata, the Byakugan princess. It's my job to analyze their strengths, powers, and skills to determine who would win in a versus battle. Sakura Haruno is a powerful shinobi from the hidden village of the Leaf. If you're hoping for a tragic past, then you might as well look for another character. Unlike most characters, Sakura grew up in a normal and regular family. That means a normal childhood and no special powers. Soon, she found herself to be out of her teammates' league, and because of that, she decided to become the student of the strongest woman in the world, Tsunade Senju. After over 2 years of hard training, she gained some skills that actually stood out, so she became more helpful over the years, and despite Sasuke trying to kill her a few times, Sakura was persistent enough for Sasuke to come back. So eventually both their dreams were fulfilled, and they lived happily ever after. Except for the fact that Sasuke almost never comes home. Now on to her feats. She became a Jonin and a top-class medical ninja. Has defeated more experienced ninjas than herself. With the help of Lady Chiyo, she defeated Sasori. Played a major role in the 4th Great Ninja War. Saved thousands of ninjas, some of which include Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata, Kankuro, Chiyo, Karen, and more. She defeated Kido, an Anbu root captain, in a head-on fight, which had an improved version of a synthetic chakra cloak with 9 tails. Got praise from Hashirama and Sasuke of all people. She is considered to have surpassed Tsunade. She one-shotted Shin, who gave Naruto and Sasuke some trouble, then later on fought him in a one-on-one battle. She also sucker-punched Kaguya, a goddess, by blindsiding her by knowing the weak spot of the Byakugan, and hit her so hard she doubled over and Team 7 was able to seal her away. Now onto her physical strength. Even early in the series, she was strong enough to knock out a man with a single kick. Even as a kid, could rip out the mast of a ship and use it as a baseball bat. Considering the mast size, that would weigh at least a ton. She can send people a dozen meters away with one punch. She was strong enough to stop the Sasori chopper and pulled him in just like Scorpion. She wrecks puppets with a single hit each, and even has mock cones that form over her fists, and is strong enough to crack the 4th wall. She could still muster a punch despite being restricted by Madara's chakra, and has far higher striking power than normal, can easily kill with a single punch, or break bones and rearrange the face or organs of those tougher ones. Strong enough to hurt anyone in the Narutoverse on direct hits, and can easily punch 400-ton iron blocks into the air. She can demolish an entire battlefield with a single punch. If you can see in the panel, the dots that were sent flying are fission beings from the Ten Tails. The smallest ones are at least twice the size of a human being. Everything was sent flying by an indirect punch. In Sakura's case, her indirect punch uproots and lifts several building-sized rocks, along with numerous ten-tail fission beings, each being at least twice the size of a human. She can punch the ground to throw an opponent off balance. She can punch the air and shatter structures without even touching them. Think about that. The mere shockwave of her base form punch can obliterate large structures. She can easily lift rocks and walls, and yes, can also throw massive things at high speeds. With her arms, outmuscle the lightning-style ninjutsu that is similar to a great bear trap. She beat the Chakra Cloak's Kido, kept punching him in the same spot until his cells in the area died out due to over-replication. Yes, Sakura's absurd strength comes from chakra, but it doesn't mean she has no raw strength. Every ninja has at least some level of superhuman physiology, and Sakura is no different, except she displays power far beyond that of your average ninja. Now onto her speed. Even at the very start of her career, she was able to move as a blur. She also can enhance her speed with chakra. Travel from the Leaf Village to the Sand Village in 3 days. It's similar to crossing a continent. She dodged Sasori's attacks with and without Chiyo's help. She sent a Jubling flying at speeds that made a solid shockwave. Sakura caught up to it via jumping in an arc. The Jubling was moving and her jump sent her past the Jubling. This is a feat at or above the speed of sound. She dodged a sea of acid suddenly appearing above her while carrying Obito. A bit of it splashed on her though. She kept up with Naruto and Sasuke on some occasions, such as avoiding Kaguya's initial attack, which Naruto and Sasuke had trouble avoiding and regarded as fast. Key point though, sure Kakashi had to save her eventually, yes, but think about it. If Sakura would have been able to outrun that arm in a straight line, then she would be capable of just blitzing Naruto and Sasuke while they're at their best, which makes absolutely no sense. She blitzed Shin, who gave Naruto and Sasuke some trouble. Sakura tagged him more than once in general. Also, she was dodging relentless attacks from him, where Shin had the home advantage, which matters since he can control any weapon and object that he's marked at will. She repeatedly dodged Kido's lightning jutsu. She kept up with chakra-cloaked and non-cloaked Kido, who according to the description could move at over 9,000 miles per hour without a chakra cloak. This translates to 11.72 times the speed of sound, which is basically 11 Mach, almost 12 Mach, and it takes 5 Mach to reach hypersonic speed levels. She strikes fast enough for Mach cones to form around her fist, which could logically prove that she strikes at the speed of sound. Long story short, Sakura has reached above hypersonic speeds in travel speed and strikes at the speed of sound. Durability and endurance. Even as a kid, she gets hit by several kunai and gets punched in the face a few dozen times right after, and she was still functional right after all of that. As a kid, could take hits from a semi-serious tsunade and still get back up. Took a paper bomb explosion point blank without any notable damage, which she used to push herself away from poisonous gas. Why is this feat relevant? Because the paper bomb is the equivalent of a grenade, and it has been shown on multiple occasions that at point blank, a paper bomb will kill you. She shrugged off being impaled by Madara and continued to attack him. She got zapped by Kido's lightning-style clone. She was also impaled by Kido's chakra tail and kept charging at him despite the tail still being inside of her. She got blasted by Kido's tailed beast bomb, but kept coming back. Not exactly a full-fledged tailed beast bomb, but according to the description, it is similar to the same tailed beast bombs used by Naruto in his four-tailed form. She can cover her body with chakra for increased defense. Chakra shields are capable of protecting the user from incoming attacks. Long story short, Sakura's durability is something fierce. Much like Tsunade, she can take extreme amounts of damage and shrug it off, whereas some characters would not be so lucky. Stamina and chakra reserves. She has punched, healed, and evaded through the fight with Sasori, one of the longest fights in the series. She was healing the entire allied shinobi forces night and day, healed thousands of people via Katsuyu. Restored Naruto's and Kurama's chakra with her own over the course of 3 days. With the Seal's chakra, Sakura can provide enough power for Obito to open portals to Kaguya's dimensions multiple times, which is a bit taxing even for Kaguya herself after repeated usage. Note that beforehand, Naruto in his chakra-cloaked mode offered to use one of his clone's chakra reserves to power Obito. Obito declined by saying it wouldn't be nearly enough. These same clones are capable of taking on Kage level enemies, whereas Sakura offered and Obito said that her chakra would be more than enough. After getting drugged, fought multiple Anbu root members with chakra cloaks. Then fought Kido and was not only healing herself, but him as well to overtax his cell division to completely break through his special chakra cloak armor. Now onto her skills and abilities. Her taijutsu. Taijutsu, literally meaning body techniques. Taijutsu refers to the techniques using the natural human body. Taijutsu does not require chakra. These techniques focus on the martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. Sakura is actually quite good at it, contrary to popular belief. Sakura manhandled a dozen puppets with weapons covered in deadly poison coming from multiple directions without taking a single scratch. This shows that taking on multiple enemies coming from all directions is no issue for her. She had a slugfest with Ino which lasted around 10 minutes. She manhandled Kido and his cloaked underlings. She kept up with a number of other ninjas and enemies from fillers and movies. She is highly skilled in evasion. She was taught to predict attack patterns from memorizing opponents' body movements. She caught on to Sasori's attacks by watching his fingertips. Her chakra control. The applications of chakra usage and its cost effectiveness. She is most likely the best in her class at it. She can amplify her strength, speed, and even durability with it. She can move on all kinds of surfaces like water, trees, cliffs, walls, horizontal and vertical surfaces included. Due to her proficiency in it, her abilities are very cost efficient. It basically means that her abilities do not drain her as fast. She is skilled in recognizing and disabling genjutsu, which are illusions. Aside from the games, was not shown using any genjutsu herself. She is a top-class medical specialist. She was taught by Tsunade, who can perform surgeries, autopsies, and all things medical. She can extract poisons, analyze the poisons, and create antidotes even for the most deadly of poisons. She can even make a poison of her own and coat a kunai in it. She cured Kankuro from Sasori's poison, something that the whole Sand Village was unable to do. Now onto the Chakra Scalpel. She turns her chakra into a small sharp blade. It can be used for sharp, precise incisions and can be used in battle discreetly. She used it to manually pump Naruto's heart and is good for cutting muscle tissues and tendons. Now on to Mitotic Regeneration. A healing jutsu that regenerates the damage automatically as long as Sakura has chakra. The strength of 100 Zeal provides that chakra. This is extremely busted when you think about it. When active, she will self-heal subconsciously while in combat, and her Zeal, which has over 3 years worth of chakra, which she has extremely good control of, provides the chakra needed for this. Sakura is acting as a self-charging battery in a sense. Mitotic Regeneration easily heals fatal injuries and keeps Sakura alive until they are healed. Mitotic Regeneration also has the ability to regenerate vital organs, as stated by Tsunade. In some translations, Tsunade states that it can regenerate limbs too, which does not seem so far-fetched. If you are capable of regenerating vital organs which keep you alive, I'm pretty sure you can regenerate limbs which you can live without. Mitotic Regeneration also heals almost instantly by rapidly dividing and creating new cells. This means when the jutsu is used, Sakura shortens her lifespan because cells can divide a limited amount of times. Now onto Ninjutsu. Sakura is a pro at using the substitution jutsu, which replaces her with a nearby object. She has been able to go so far as to leave a fake clone of herself and give the illusion of her being damaged, just to appear behind the enemy and attack. Believe it or not, Sakura has her own variant of clones. However, hers are not solid and are unable to attack the enemy. However, these can serve as great distractions in combat. She also knows the transformation jutsu, which she can transform into any object or person. She can fool an opponent visually, but can't fool those who can recognize people by their energy or their scent, etc. Now onto Katsuyu, a huge slug, pretty much immune to physical attacks and can spit acid from her mouth that melts stone in a heartbeat. She can split into thousands of human-sized slugs and can be used to heal thousands of people at once. Her fighting style. Sakura is shown to have several methods of fighting, and I'll list them right now. Number 1. Charge in and punch, which is a very straightforward approach which is usually used against multiple opponents or against big creatures. When she's on a team, it's usually the finishing blow. Evade and counterattack, mostly used in one-on-one, and it's her most used tactics, almost like she mastered Ultra Instincts. Deception, making the enemy think they beat her just to counterattack them when they get close enough to finish her off. She was so skilled in doing this that she even fooled Sasori and Chiyo into thinking that she was dead. Take a hit and get a hit in, mostly if all of the above fails. She charges in and takes a hit just to land another savage blow, ending the opponent right then and there. On to her last tactic, evade and leave traps. She evades attacks and dodges around before jumping away, leaving a smoke bomb or paper bomb to stun the opponent for her to land her finishing blow. Now on to her intelligence. Very knowledgeable in plants, poisons, and all things medical. She has a very good memory and is capable of memorizing an opponent's body movements just by looking at them. She was able to formulate and adjust her plans during her battle with Sasori, and she's very intelligent in and out of combat. She has very high skill in analyzing the battlefield and opponent even while being attacked. She passed the rating test at the Chunin exams without cheating, even though she was supposed to. She can make reasonably competent traps, fooled a number of ninjas over the years, and fooled her own comrades into fighting each other and used the opportunity to knock them out with sleeping gas. That was really messed up of her. She should never have done that. Her weapons of choice are very simple: a kunai knife, paper bomb, shuriken, smoke bomb, food pill. A food pill can restore chakra and give a small boost, and she's very capable of making these herself. Her personality and zeal. She has a very competitive attitude towards Ino. She has problems keeping her emotions in check throughout most of the series, usually when it has to do with Sasuke. She is willing to put herself in harm's way for others. She took a hit for Sasuke from Gaara and took a stab for Lady Chiyo from Sasori, and she does not like to lose and has a very strong will at times. On to her weaknesses. While she has a lot of chakra, it still has a limit. Mitotic Regeneration shortens her lifespan because cells can divide a limited amount of times. She mostly likes to fight up close and personal, so while power for her offense is not the most versatile, however, she does have tactics to make close quarters attacks and does have the ability to attack from a range. Over the years, she had her fair share of failures, such as failing to stab Sasuke in the back, stopping at the very end and almost got herself killed. Failed to stab Obito's Rinnegan before it was too late, even when he was asking her to stab it. In general, Sakura is a very well-rounded shinobi and has lots of skill with combat and strategy. Her use of her hand-to-hand tactics usually come in handy and work very well with her super strength and healing jutsu. This makes her a walking nuclear bomb in a sense. Her powers and durability rival that of Tsunade, the strongest woman on the planet. Even then, Sakura surpasses her in later stories, though despite all of this information, people still call her useless, which she isn't. Alright, on to her opponent. Hinata Hyuga is a Konoichi and the former heiress of the Hyuga clan. Because of her meek disposition, her father doubted that she was suitable to do the responsibilities of leading the clan, much less life as a ninja, leading him to disinherit her. But Hinata kept trying, and from observation of Naruto especially, Hinata found both an example to follow to be more assertive and a person to love. Through her membership with Team 8, she sought to become strong enough to change herself even a little at a time. In the long run, she made her improvements and showed the world that she's a formidable ninja. On to her feats. She helped Naruto destroy the Tenseigan, somewhat kept up with Neji and her father, she beat one of Guren's clones with relative ease, she took her sister's eyes back from Toneri, she kept up with her comrades during the war. She received Hamura's chakra. Hamura is a brother of the Sage of Six Paths. She replenished some of Naruto's chakra with her own Hamura chakra. Now on to her strength. She knocked out a Guren clone with her 32 palms rotation, she cracked a tree while beating up that Guren clone, she broke one of Pain's black receivers with one hit, she made a crater in the ground while attempting to attack Pain, she sent a Jubiling spawn flying with her own strength. While boosted by Naruto's Nine-Tails chakra, she knocks back one of the Ten-Tailed Beast's arms with an air palm. While boosted by Naruto's Nine-Tails chakra, she helps out the group attack on the Divine Tree. Now onto her speed. She somewhat kept up with Neji as a kid and traded blows with him. She also tagged Pain once, she kept up with her father, kept up with her comrades during the war, and perceives time much slower than others when she's in her 64 palm stance, resulting in faster hand movement and reactions. Her durability. She got the crap beaten out of her by Pain and Neji, and still managed to press on each time. Hinata did take a blow to the heart and several damaged organs from Neji and was still standing. She survived being smashed into the ground and stabbed by Pain. Now on to her intelligence. She was smart enough to create a thin layer of chakra around her body to protect herself from being crystallized to death. She figured out where Hanabi was kept on her own. She was able to identify the real Naruto while others thought he was a Zetsu. She can also pinpoint chakra points using her Byakugan. On to her abilities and skills. First, we'll start with the Byakugan. Hinata possesses the Byakugan. In plain English, it means that she has special powers in her eyes, which are passed down through her family bloodline. When activated, it significantly boosts the user's perception and speed. She can also see the opponent's weaknesses, strengths, and fine movements. Some of the Byakugan's special skills are stuff like this: the ability to see almost 360 degrees with the exception of a blind spot behind her neck, the ability to see chakra and chakra points in the body, the ability to see genjutsu. This is because Byakugan can see chakra, the power source for all special ninja powers. The ability to see very far away. At age 16, she could see 10 kilometers away. The ability to see through solid objects, though some things can block its sight. Now on to her Gentle Fist. Hinata's style of taijutsu is the same as the rest of her family, the Gentle Fist. The way it works is that it directly attacks a person's chakra networks, damaging their insides. It can prevent people from using chakra, it can fix dislocated bones with a touch. Hinata knows the most powerful Gentle Fist technique, a rapid series of strikes called the 64 palms. However, it should be noted that Hinata finally learned the 64 palms in the final act of Naruto Shippuden, whereas Neji mastered it as a child. In Boruto, Hinata is also stated to have mastered the Gentle Fist after the time skip. The Gentle Fist has a handful of techniques. The 8 trigrams empty palm, also known as the air palm. After using the Byakugan to target the vitals of their enemy, the user will use a forceful palm thrust which releases a small wave of chakra. This attack is powerful enough to blow a person off their feet and has a range of several meters. The Gentle Step Twin Lion Fist. Hinata forms 2 large lion-shaped chakra shrouds around her hands and uses them to strike her opponent. Doing so greatly increases the attack's range and destructive power. The lion heads also drain the chakra network of those they touch. It's an extremely difficult technique to use, and the slightest mistake will cost a lot of chakra. When she uses it with her Hamura chakra, the lions grow in size and also turn purple, along with a boost. The 8 trigram 64 palms. Hinata strikes her enemy a total of 64 times, starting with 2 strikes all the way up to a total of 64. When struck, the target is unable to form chakra and is almost entirely paralyzed since the strings target their chakra points. The protective 8 trigram 64 palms. Hinata created this technique and is extremely versatile in combat. It has both offensive and defensive capabilities. When used defensively, Hinata creates arc-shaped chakra blades that spread out across her entire attack range, effectively forming a barricade between herself and her opponents. Now onto her fighting style. Hinata has a very uniform and solid fighting style. Her main methods are constant attacks using the Gentle Fist or Lion Fist to pressure the opponent, deflecting and evading using the Gentle Fist, or using the Byakugan to set her opponents up, then using the 32 or 64 palms. Now onto her weapons and equipment. She carries a shuriken and kunai knife, the most basic ninja tools. However, she does not use these as often as the others. Her ninjutsu. While Hinata does not usually use standard ninjutsu, by the 4th Shinobi War, her nature transformations included fire and lightning release. In the anime, she was able to demonstrate skill with medical ninjutsu, able to use the mystical palm technique to heal the wounded. Now onto her chakra usage and control. By part 2 of the anime, Hinata's control has advanced enough to match a basic medical ninja, for which reason she was assigned to help perform the 4-corner ceiling barrier. When she met Hamura in the last movie, Hinata inherited some of his chakra because she's part of the Hyuga clan. It is the strength and purity of her chakra that attracts Toneri, and later prompts Hamura himself to transfer his chakra to her. This changes Hinata's chakra from blue to purple and makes her powerful enough to help Naruto destroy the Tenseigan and even replenish some of his chakra. Now onto her weaknesses. Her fighting style is primarily limited to taijutsu, for the exception of the empty palm attack.
There is a small blind spot behind the back of her neck, in which her Byakugan vision cannot cover. She isn't a very versatile or analytic fighter. She tends to depend on her Byakugan to assess the situation and to make it through. Despite being highly aware of her surroundings, Hinata has still fallen victim to trickery and mistakes. For example, when battling Gurren with her Byakugan active, she attacked a clone of Gurren and beat it, thinking that she had attacked the real Gurren, but it was just a clone, and that resulted in her losing. While being skilled in taijutsu, Hinata has also fallen victim to multiple enemies at once. She usually ends up being overwhelmed by them, but by the end of the last Naruto movie, she gets better at it. Overall, Hinata is a very skilled ninja. What she lacks in physical capability, she makes up for with her Byakugan and Gentle Fist. She is very strong-willed and will never give up in the face of danger. Despite her flaws, she continues to improve and become the ninja that she wants to be. Okay, that was a lot to say. Kudos to those who actually watched this analysis. Let's get this fight started now, okay? Alright, here are the rules. The fight will take place on a secluded island. I will be using Sakura and Hinata at their peak condition, which is at the end of Shippuden. Morals are on and the both of them are in character. The fight will end once one of the fighters are unconscious or unable to fight. This is not to the death. Now I hope you guys brought some snacks, some water, some juice, something like that, because this fight is not going to be short. This fight's going to be kind of long, alright? It took me a long time to make this one. Alright, so let's get this bad boy started. Let's get going, okay? 3, 2, 1.